بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Assalamu alaikum. It is Wednesday, the 14th of July 2021, and in our series Reflections on the Holy Quran, this is broadcast number 235. These days we are talking about the meaning of the words in verse 89 of chapter 2, and this is the fourth broadcast in that series. I just want to remind you that these broadcasts are brought to you by the Lahore Ahmadiyya community, which was founded by Hazrat Mirza Ghulam Ahmad, who taught us that although people want to bring another prophet after the Holy Prophet Muhammad, the Holy Quran has said that the Holy Prophet Muhammad was Khatamun Nabiyyin, and the Holy Prophet explained that by saying, La Nabi Abad. There is no prophet after me. So no prophet can come. Not an old prophet, not a new one. This worried the companions of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, who said, Ya Rasulullah, prophet after prophet came to the Israelites, but after a prophet had left, they would go astray. What's going to happen to Muslims if there aren't going to be any prophets? And the Holy Prophet Muhammad said that God will appoint. Remember the words, God will appoint reformers, mujaddideen, who will bring them back to the right path. And two people mentioned in this context were Messiah and Mahdi. But the Holy Prophet also said that although the two people are mentioned, it is actually one person. And Hazrat Mirza Ghulam Ahmad explained that this applies to a mujaddid, and he said he was the mujaddid to whom these titles applied. And he went on to say that this, and there are other matters where we differ from each other, but Muslims are too keen to start calling each other heretics and kafirs and out of fold of Islam and God knows what have you. And he said that this is against the Holy Prophet's teaching. He said the Holy Prophet Muhammad had said that if one person who recites the kalima says to another person who recites the kalima that you are not a Muslim, you are a heretic, then it is the person saying it who is the heretic. Remember this. It's the person saying it who is the heretic. And Hazrat Mirza Ghulam Ahmad also said that although people say that some of the prophetic revelation received by the Holy Prophet Muhammad is missing from the Holy Quran, like Ayah Rajam and Surah Wilayat and Surah Walayat and so on. This is untrue. All the prophetic revelation received by the Holy Prophet Muhammad is in the Holy Quran. Nothing is missing. Similarly, he said that people say that some verses of the Holy Quran have been abrogated. He said this is absolutely wrong. No verse of the Holy Quran is abrogated. And he went on to explain that jihad is a fundamental duty of every Muslim. Note this, jihad is the fundamental duty of every Muslim. But jihad as defined by the Holy Prophet Muhammad. Not jihad as defined by you and me or someone else. And the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam defined the jihad in this way. When returning from fighting, the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallam said that from the minor jihad, we now return to the major jihad. And then went on to explain that the major jihad is jihad bin nafs, a jihad to control your own inner self, your negative desires, greed, envy, enmity, the desire to accumulate as many diamonds and jewels and God knows what else as you can. So this was what Hazrat Mirza Ghulam Ahmad told us. We've been talking about verse 89 of Al-Baqarah. So let's turn to that. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ولما جاءهم كتاب من عند الله مصدق لما معهم وكانوا من قبل يستفتحون على الذين كفروا فلما جاءهم ما عرفوا كفروا به فلعنة الله على الكافرين. And when there came to them a book from Allah, verifying that which they had, or which they have. And aforetime they used to pray for victory against those who disbelieved. But when there came to them that which they recognized, they disbelieved in it. So Allah's curse is on the disbelievers. And in this broadcast, we are going to look at the words. What words? Yastaftihun, Allah, and Allazina. 3 words. So let's have a look at the first one, which is Yastaftihun. Let me look at my notes on the computer. Now, this word is made up of 2 segments. Yastafti, and then wa at the end. And I've explained to you that in Arabic, a pronoun is added to a noun or a verb. And I gave you the example, Mola, Lord, Molvi, my Lord, Maulana, our Lord. The terminology generally used for religious leaders. Kitab, Kitabi, Kitab book, Kitabi, my book. So you'll say Kitabi has two segments, Kitab and E, the noun and the pronoun. Okay. Now its triliteral root is Fa, Ta, Ha, and it occurs in the Holy Quran 38 times, mostly 16 times as Fataha, and 12 times as the noun Fatah. And then what else do we have? 3 times as a verb is Staf Tahu. And then other forms it's used once each. So we have Bima Fatahallahu alaykum, chapter 2 verse 76. Here it means has. Fatahna alayhim abwaba kulli shay'in. Chapter 6 verse 44. We opened. So the meaning is either to open or to give victory in this form. لَفَتَحْنَا عَلَيْهِمْ بَرَكَاتٍ مِنَ السَّمَاءِ وَالْأَرْضِ. Surely we have opened. Chapter 7 verse 96. We'll probably have a look at that later. La tufattahu lahum abwabus sama. Doors in heavens were opened. Chapter 7 verse 40. And then to pray for victory. In tastaftihu faqad ja'akumul fath. Chapter 8 verse 19. Or as a noun, huwal fattah, fattahul alim, the judge. And of course the word Urdu speaking people know most well, victory. Faqad ja'akumul fath, the victory. In chapter 8 verse 19. But it also means decision, because I guess decision is a kind of victory for one party. وَيَقُولُونَ مَتَيَا إِذَا الْفَتْحُ إِن كُنتُمْ صَادِقِينَ. The decision, chapter 32 verse 28. In the next verse, قُلْ يَوْمَ الْفَتْحِ لَا يَنْفَعُ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا إِيمَانُهُمْ وَلَا هُمْ يُنْذَرُونَ إِنَّا فَتَحْنَا لَكَ فَتْحًا مُبِينًا, and so on. So let us see what it means. Where are we? Where are my notes? Here we are. So, al-fathu means that some impediment, some obstacle, some complication has been removed. Now, this can be in two different ways. One can be physical, so you can see it. This is not Quran, but Arabic phrase, Fathul Bab, opening the door. So what's that doing? It's removing the impediment to you entering the house. The obstacle is being removed. Fathul Kufl, opening the lock. Again, that means that once the lock is open, you can now enter the room or the house or whatever it is. The impediment is being removed. The Holy Quran itself says, وَلَمَّا فَتَحُوا مَتَاعَهُمْ, chapter 12, verse 65. When they opened their stuff, their luggage. Now you see, all these you can see with your own eyes. An impediment has been removed, and you can see it's been removed. The door's been opened, the lock's been unlocked, the luggage has been opened, the suitcase has been opened. And the other way in which some obstacle can be removed is sort of intellectual. And this can be categorized in a number of different ways. That removal of need, removal of worry from someone by doing something, that's one kind. That worry is removed. Worry is your impediment to something, and that is removed. So the Holy Quran says, وَلَمَّا نَسُوا مَا ذُكِّرُوا بِهِ فَتَحْنَا عَلَيْهِمْ أَبْوَابَ كُلِّ شَيْءٍ, chapter 6, verse 44. And then when they forgot what they had been told, then doors of everything were open to them. لَفَتَحْنَا عَلَيْهِمْ بَرَكَاتٍ مِّنَ السَّمَاءِ وَالْأَرْضِ, chapter 7, verse 96. And the doors of the blessings of the heavens and the earth were open to them. And that is that they attained every type of comfort, whatever they needed. So that is removing kind of mental stress and distress and worry by doing this, by opening these doors in this way. But it also means removing doubts. Also means opening the door and giving all manner of guidance and education. Inna fatahna laka fataham mubina, chapter 48, verse 1. We gave you fatah, we gave you victory, clear victory. Now some people say, and generally it is said that this is about the victory at Makkah, when the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam entered Makkah almost bloodlessly. But others say that this refers to removal of any impediments and granting of those spiritual and other knowledges and attainments that raise a human being to the highest spiritual level. So they say that here this is what the Quran is saying. And then of course we have Al-Fatiha. And we know that the first chapter of the Holy Quran is called Fatiha because the book opens with it. If you look at the previous examples I gave about physical things and so on, you open the lock, you open the door. So this opens the Holy Quran. So this is called sort of the beginning, after which the main thing comes. So Fatihatul Kitab is what's called Surah Fatiha. It also stands for telling someone something. So, if someone is doubtful, they've got some kind of complication or something, and you open their mind. You remove that obstacle or impediment. So it says, أَتُحَدِّثُونَهُم بِمَا فَتَحَ اللَّهُ عَلَيْكُمْ. And that is that what God told you, what God revealed to you, you tell them, you open it to them. مَا يَفْتَحِ اللَّهُ لِلنَّاسِ. That which opens, clears complications for people. So in that sense, it also means a decision. رَبَّنَا افْتَحْ بَيْنَنَا وَبَيْنَ قَوْمِنَا بِالْحَقِّ وَأَنْتَ خَيْرُ الْفَاتِحِينَ. Chapter 7, verse 89. Our Lord, decide between us and our people. Decide with justice, because you are the most just, you are the best. Al-Fattahul Alim, chapter 34, verse 26. The one who knows well. Again in chapter 110, verse 1, إِذَا جَاءَ نَصْرُ اللَّهِ وَالْفَتْحُ. And when God's help came and victory was attained. Some people say that means physical victory, but others say that, God's help is his revelation, and Fatah here stands for opening the doors of spiritual and other guidance that will allow man to raise to the highest pinnacle. Nasrum min Allahi wa fathun qareeb. Chapter 61, verse 13. God will help you, and soon you shall attain victory. Again, what does that mean? Physical victory. What does it mean? That you will have the knowledge, etc. In chapter 32, verse 29, Qul Yawm al-Fath. When is the day of decision? So here you can see it stands for decision. Al-Istiftah. Tahu. That means to demand or ask for a decision. Wa in tastaftihu faqad ja'akumul fath. Chapter 8, verse 90. If you want victory over the Holy Prophet Muhammad, then it has come to you. So, what is that victory? The fact that the Holy Prophet has appeared among you. And then this verse, فَكَانُوا مِن قَبْلُ يَسْتَفْتِحُونَ عَلَى الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا. And previously, they used to pray for victory over the disbelievers. Now, here, yastaftihun, there's a disagreement about what it means, how that victory came, or how they wanted that victory. What were they asking for? One interpretation is that advent of the coming of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That let that promised prophet come, and through him we shall attain victory. And another one is that they would ask about the coming of the Holy Prophet, or they'll ask people, or their religious leaders, and so on, and sometimes by interpreting the divine books that they had received to see when will this prophet come. A third interpretation is that it's through the Holy Prophet Muhammad that they wanted, that they asked Allah for help. And lastly, they used to say that when that prophet comes, who'd been prophesied in their divine books, then they will get victory over the idol worshippers. Remember, Christians had been in Saudi Arabia for hundreds of years. Jews had been there for a lot longer. And yet, they hadn't managed to eradicate idol worship. And they believed that when that prophet, that prophesied prophet, would come, then this will happen. And it al-miftahu wal-miftahu, it means the key with which you can open anything. وَإِنَّهُ مَفَاتِحُ الْغَيْبِ, chapter 6, verse 59. He has the keys to the unseen. Again, فَلَا يُظْهِرُ عَلَى غَيْبِهِ أَحَدًا إِلَّا مَنِ ارْتَضَىٰ مِنْ رَسُولٍ, chapter 72, verse 26. God does not reveal the secrets of the unseen except when he pleases to the messengers. Ma inna mafatihatu latanu bil usbati ulil quwwati, chapter 28, verse 76. And that the treasures that were given, the keys to those treasures were so heavy that if you had an army of strong people, they would have found it hard to list those keys. So it means to open, means to remove obstacles and impediments, and so on. So the next word is ala, which is simply a preposition, which means over. So that was nice and simple and took 1 second. And then allazina, which is again a pronoun, those who. Sirat allazina an'amta alayhim, those who, chapter 1, verse 7. Allazina yuminuna bil ghaibi wa yuqimuna as-salat. Those who believe in the unseen. It occurs in the Holy Quran 1464 times. And وَالَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِمَا أُنزِلَ إِلَيْكَ وَمَا أُنزِلَ مِن قَبْلِكَ. Chapter 2, verse 45. Chapter 2, verse 4. Those who. يُخَادِعُونَ اللَّهَ وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَمَا يَخْدَعُونَ إِلَّا أَنفُسَهُمْ. Chapter 2, verse 9. So those who. So in all these places, it means the ones who, that which, who. So it appears in various places. Allazina yazkuruna Allah. Chapter 3, verse 191. Those who. Allazina kafaru fi bilad. Chapter 3, verse 196. Of those who. And so on. So, I'm told that the time we have for our broadcast has ended. So, with the prayer that whoever you are and wherever you may be, may Allah keep the whole humanity safe and sound and free from harm. Assalamu alaikum. Khuda Hafiz. Goodbye.